Assalamu alaikum and hello and good day. This is Mainul going live in another episode of Road to Goals. I hope wherever you are having a very lovely day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And also Ramadan Kareem again. Probably you're passing the Ramadan in a good spiritual way. So if this is the first time you're watching me, then please let me give some brief information about myself. I'm Mainul. I was born and raised in Bangladesh, where I'm currently located, but I've studied, lived, and worked in Germany and Australia as well. I'm a biologist by profession, a husband, father of a baby girl, and a digital business mentor. So I help people learn how to use various social media platforms and be able to run a comfortable digital business from anywhere in the world. First of all, apologies. There was a mix-up with the times in Australia, in Sydney. The clock has changed. I was not aware of it, and I probably also picked the time wrong for Calgary, Canada. So nevertheless, here we are, and I hope that you watch it either live here now or you watch it replay later on. So as usual, I have got my two co-hosts, Brother Amin all the way from Sydney and Sister Fatima. She missed out last week due to some personal reasons. So there she goes. She's again with us here. And we have got distinguished guest, Brother Habib, who is representing Malika and Habib business. So we'll hear more about Brother Habib. So without further ado, Brother Amin, I'll now hand over the mic to you. Assalamu alaikum, brother. How are you doing?
Walaikum salam, alhamdulillah. Good. Life is good, Brother Mainul. So thank you so much for everyone who's joining us live and maybe watching it a replay later on. So for those who don't know me, my name is Amin. I'm originally from Sri Lanka and been here in Sydney with my family over the last 12 years. I am a global digital business owner in our global platform. I run the business with my wife, Xenia. Xenia and I are both accountants. We are full-time employed, and we are running the business on the side as a side hustle. So over to you, Sister Fatima, for a brief introduction. Then we will introduce our special guest today.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I know, excuse me. Sorry, I'm just getting over a cold and cough, so I think it's going around in Canada. So, and thank you for those who are joining us from Canada. I know it's a little bit late here, but yeah, it's Ramadan, so we are all just trying to be there. So those who don't know me, I am based out in Calgary, Alberta, and I've been living in Alberta for past 13 years with my family. I've got 2 kids, and I also work full-time in a healthcare research company and run this business on the side. So, and by profession, I'm a molecular biologist, so I don't have any background in business, but I've been doing this for a few years now. So let's get our guest to introduce himself. So Brother Habib, Assalamu alaikum, welcome. And can you give us something about your background and how did you come across this business?
Assalamu alaikum, and before everything, Ramadan Kareem, and may Allah accept all our prayers in this holy month. Thank you so much for inviting me here. As you guys told, my name is Habib, and I'm originally from Afghanistan. And as you can see, my wife named Malika. We both are doing the online business, so that's why she's not here, but I'm here to represent her as well. And I live in the city of Ottawa, Canada. It's the past 22 years. I came here from Azerbaijan because I was a student there. I finished medical school. I supposed to become a doctor and return back to Afghanistan to do my internship, but unfortunately, because of the situation in Afghanistan, I end up here in Canada. As you guys know, many immigrants, all of us immigrated here for better life. And so as I came here, here my degree, it was not enough to practice as a medical doctor because I had to do the internship. So they wanted me to start from the beginning, like the university. But as immigrant, when you come here, it's really challenging to start a new life from the beginning, from zero, from scratch. So I had some, my family had some situation in Afghanistan, displaced 3 times from war. And so I had to choose between university to go back here or just support them. So I chose to support my family because they were my priority. as I have to support my brothers that they were away from studying, so they had to do their school. And I said, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice, as first generation usually come as immigrant, always do that. So I start working with the food industry company. So between a few months, I become a corporate manager. And as you know, like corporate life is not easy. I was away from home and always had to go to different cities. So when I married Malika, I sponsor here, and then we got a kids, and then I said, okay, enough is enough. But still, even despite having diploma from college here in Canada, I finished dental hygiene, I did not want to pursue that career because it was something that I was hoping to continue with different path, but it did not go the way that I wanted. So I continue working with franchisees in restaurant and food industries. So day by day, the life become difficult with the restaurant, because the restaurant career is kind of that is you have to work long shift, and you have to be like in different shift, night, daytime. And believe me, what happened, I have two kids. My daughter is now 17, and my half son is turning 9 next month. So it was before pandemic that one time my daughter told me you never been on weekend with us at night to watch movie together. And this really struck me really hard, that it came to my mind that it's time for change. I have to do something to change, and I need to do the change, and looking for some opportunity. I had the opportunity to open my own business, like restaurant or pizza restaurant. But the thing is, as I always see, like people who own restaurant, they had no life, honestly. Like they have to be presented all the time. They have to be working like 80, 90 hours, which is taking time away from the family. And for us as a Muslim, I really gave value to families and to praise stuff. So then uh, I did not want to own a business, but I was looking for something to give me flexibility and time freedom. And before to be introduced to this business, I also had side hustle, providing internet service, gas, and electricity. But with that was very hard, because the business I had to go find people, friends, families, and or other people to approach them to just get the service from me, which was really difficult, and the payoff was not something that I was looking. And still I said, God, there should be something that like just something different that I really would love to do. And until one day that I become across an ad with this business, that she also was a restaurant owner, that she says she worked in a restaurant, long shift. She had enough of working in a long shift. So that's something that it's, make me to think that, okay, if she's the one that doing the same career that I was doing, and I'm the same situation with her, and now she has this business and flexibility, let's start looking for this, business. Maybe this is something that I would do. So I register myself and watch the workshop as usual that every one of us does. So still I wasn't sure. I was skeptical, and I started doing my research about the business, and until was after a few months, and then I saw another ad that someone living in my district, like where I'm living, is I see her talking about this business, and then I talked to her, and she told me about where she lives, and then I said, okay, she's my neighbor. So, and I then I went to the 1 month free trial that we have, like the trial we have the. So then I did my research. I entered to the group, the private group we have, and I saw there is so many people from different background, professionals, doctors, engineers, nurses, and others doing this business. And so that was the time that I decided, okay, I this is something I was looking, and I hope to start it. And I started this business. Alhamdulillah, as you see, is almost more than 2 years I'm doing, like 2.5 years, and I'm coaching this business, and I'm really satisfied. Reduce my hours from the restaurant, and spending more time with family, like and also Malika stay home most of the time to take care of kids. So Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy. So, and the way this changed my life, to be honest, is not just about financially. Like before, I was uh, thinking that I was stuck inside the box that just coming and going, and I could not think out of this to like about anything. So since I entered this business, so I learned so much. Not just like uh, I become familiar with so many things, like out of this world that I was stuck. I know so many other things in the world going on, and I like self develop. Like the skill I learned, and the mindset is changed. Like before, to tell you honestly about my story, like when uh, before this business we started, when Malika was telling me to just go out, honestly, I was not willing to go out of my house. But since we started this business, even the pandemic started the same time, and like uh, we went so much outdoor, we did so much activity that I become the like kind of like with the barbecue, that every week, like everybody would know that I'm going every week for barbecue, like doing kebab. And like I travel so much around the province, like the cities that I never been in 20 years. I traveled all the cities. I went discovered so many new places. It's all was the motivation I got from the business, because it's changed my mindset, the way I was thinking. And like always, I feel guilty that I supposed to be a doctor and working in a restaurant field. But after starting this business, that guilt is all free me from my brain, that not thinking that way. I said, okay, thank you so much, Allah, that my aim was to help people at that time. If they are sick, they have illness, to cure, and they help them to get cured by your help. But now you presented another gift, which is also I help people to change their life. And this is
That's
what
right.
I like about this business.
Thank you very much for your very thorough and in-depth analysis of the business and introduction. Your story is very inspiring. I hope the people who watches this, they get value out of this. So, brother, obviously you have given vast information. So, my next question would be that while probably you are looking for businesses, why did you choose this business model? Are you aware of other online business, and what is the benefit of this particular business model? And maybe some comments about the community that you were working with.
Uh, you know, as I said in the between my conversation, that I had started the side hustle, which was providing like internet, electricity, and phone service to home owners. And if I tell you the difference between that, what I did, and this business, is really big differences. Because with this business, with this model, first of all, there is a system build up that everyone can do it. And this system is like franchisees, that you go to get a franchisees that set up everything ready for you to just start operating. The same thing, this model is the same kind of idea, that you have all the marketing tools. We have an excellent training, which is provide you value-based training, and it's understandable for every person, everybody who has a willing to change. And plus, you have a mentor and coach. As we know that people who are successful in any kind of business, those that who had a mentor, who has coach. In this world, like if I name a few of them, like from the Facebook owner to Steve Jobs to like even Warren Buffett and those mega millionaire people, they all had a mentor. They did not go to succeed like by themselves. They had a mentor. Plus, wherever there is a community, there is like people who just doing that, helping each other. So those are successful, that working as a team. If you go alone by yourself, probably you will have a long road to go, and you never succeed by yourself easily. But with this system that set up everything for you, and with plus automation that we have, that can most of the job out of your shoulder. So that's like you need only to do 10-20% of the job. So that help a lot, to succeed. So that's what I find about this business. The beauty of this business is, plus it give you time freedom, the flexibility. You're your own boss. You can work at any time, at anywhere. If you want to travel, you go. You have internet connection. You have your mobile. Your business is with you. And also the other benefit of this business, that is you learn so much. You learn so much from the people who are successful, the community behind you that help you, like to lift you up, not lift you behind. So these are the things. Plus, we have training is 24/7 days is open for you, and we have every week like weekly learning session that every Wednesday you can attend and learn and inspire and just hear the story of successful people that they came from different background and telling their story, how their life was changed with this business. So these are all the beneficial of this business to start. And that also, the difference between this business to some other model, I can tell you that with this model that set up, and you cannot imagine that how easy you can run this. Once you're inside and you start this business, you would know and that this business would definitely change your life, for sure. I hope I answered your question, Brother Manuel.
Yes, so Brother Amin, something from your side, then Sister Fatima as well. Maybe I'll add something there. Please, Brother Amin, over to you.
Thank you, Brother Maulana. And Brother Habib, mashallah, he gave a really good account and explanation of. I mean, he answered all our usual questions, to be honest. So I think some of the things that Brother Habib mentioned, I think we all can kind of resonate, right? We are migrants from different countries, trying to, when we first arrive in wherever countries, we try to establish, and then most of us started working in areas which we were qualified in one area, but then we were working in another area because the countries, they need like people with the in-country experience, which we don't have, right? And then you need to establish your family, and then as Brother Habib mentioned with his story, you have to help your siblings and brothers and sisters in your mother country. So that means you are consistently under pressure to do work, long hours, and then you miss family time. You're spending a lot of time doing multiple jobs, so multiple shift, and day and night. You hardly have any time to spend with your family. And then on top of that, if someone asks you to say, hey, let's try to do a business. I mean, not every one of us have a lot of money to start a business, right? That's where our global system comes in handy, because this is a platform, global platform, that is proven. It's running successfully. We have over 150,000 people from different backgrounds. They have the heaps of migrants involved in. There's a huge Muslim community in this business, because obviously it's a halal way of doing business. Not only Muslim, there's people from different religions, different faiths, who are part of our global community. All of us have kind of one goal. It's basically, um, doing something good for our own families and helping others also, benefit from this business. And as Brother Habib mentioned, that we have a established platform, which is almost 80% of that is automated. Therefore, you're spending only about 20% of your time to actually run the business. That gives you flexibility. You can work from home or anywhere. You can operate the business while you are watching your children's sporting activity, maybe a swimming lesson, wherever, from the supermarket, wherever you can do it. And we have a global community that is helping us. We have a coaching and a mentoring, a kind of structure that helps every new person who's joining our global community, who has never done a business, right? It is helping them, from scratch to, whatever whatever status they want to bring their business to. So that's one of the reasons why we have over 153,000 people from around the world. And people might think, okay, what is this business that these guys are doing, and they're kind of inviting us? We have no idea what they're doing. That's one of the reasons why we ask. This is a lifetime business. It is not something that you start right now and reap benefits in 6 months, and you'll become a multi-million. It's not a quick get quick rich scheme. That's one of the reasons why we hold a webinar. It's about 90 minutes long. It happens twice a week. It's free for anybody who registered. Come and watch, so that we can provide you a lot of information, so that anybody who's interested to start their business, an online business, can make an informed decision, do their own research as well. And our global business is such that there's no kind of chasing behind people. We don't, there's no door-to-door selling. We are not advertising specific products. There's nothing like Amazon or something like that. Then we don't have to have parties to give samples to people and convince people to buy stuff. We don't do that. And then we don't transport and deliver. There's no buying and selling stuff. There's there's no, you don't need prior experience. You don't have to have high technological skill. I can go on and on. That is the beauty of our business, global platform. That's one of the reasons why people who have never done a business, online business, jump in. And even if you are a new migrant and you're managing your life, you can start this business with a small investment. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's not going to cost you your entire life savings. That is why we all are enjoying doing the business and enjoying the company of over 153,000 people. I don't know if that does not convince people. I don't know what will convince thousands of people who are watching us right now to start that option. We are not pushing anyone to to do the business, but then we are inviting them to have a look. It could be an option. It might be a better option for anyone who's interested. Over to you, Sister Fatima, for some of your inputs as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so for me, when I came to Canada because I came to do my PhD here. So I came as an international student. So I was busy with studying, and then I got a job after that and was busy doing that. But then, my kids are growing up and I'm just working, it's every day, it's like getting through that day and preparing for the next one. So, and life doesn't slow down. So you have to do something to, make more time for your family and for yourself. And that's when I started searching for another opportunity, and I came across this platform. And what attracted me to this was that it was a complete package. I did not have to go anywhere to learn, get training from outside. So everything's provided in this whole system. And Also, it was already tested, like Brother Amin said. Excuse me. So, I don't have to start from scratch. It was a plug and play. You can, just take the system. It's already been tested by other people. We've been in this for 6 years. So, if it's proven, it's working for others. So there's no reason for you to not be able to do it successfully. Plus, there was no business background required, no technical skills required, because I had never thought that I'm going to go on an entrepreneur journey. I always thought, being a life sciences student, I'm just going to be working in that. And I am still working in a healthcare research company. And this business allowed me to have that flexibility to, work on it around my busy schedule. So sometimes I don't have any time at all for my business, but that doesn't mean it stops running. It's always running. And like, Brother Habib and Brother Amin have mentioned that a lot of it is automated. So even if you take a break, it's still running for you. Like I took like 2 days off from work, but I did not have to take any time off from my business, because all you need is your phone and internet connection and you're still running it. So having that kind of flexibility and the kind of support in the community, because like everyone here is saying, it's really hard to run a business all by yourself, especially if you have never done anything, right? It's just something very new. So yes, there is a learning curve, and that's with anything new you start. But the amount of support you get is just amazing, and I don't think there's any other business out there where you get this kind of support, where you have a mentor, a coach, and the whole community of people you can reach out to help answer your questions. And I think that just sets you up for success. As long as you're willing to put in your effort, like there's no reason for you to fail, because you're being provided with all the tools that you need to become successful. And the best part is that you get a 30-day trial period to come and check us out before you make your decision. And that was what, when I was looking, so my husband was very skeptical about it. So I told him, yeah, there is this 30-day trial period. I'm not going to lose anything if I go and check it out. And if it looks like this is not for me, I have the option to just say, okay, I looked at it, but this is not for me, and move on. So having that guarantee of the 30-day risk-free period, I don't think that comes for any other businesses that I was looking at the time. And that was kind of what made me take the step and learn more, and I'm still here. So yeah, that's my story.
So thank you very much, sister. So I'll just tell a little bit from my side and probably wrap up the session. We're nearly end of our 30 minutes, and Brother Habib, it's getting late over there as well. So from my side, I mean, I'm also a life scientist or biologist, so I've been in 2 different countries, and the same story, being a migrant, working hard, and especially in academia, the problem is that you're not compensated as per hourly or a salary, so you get a little bit of a scholarship or whatever the amount is, and you have to do a lot more work beyond the hours, and even during the national holidays or I don't know weekends, while maybe somebody in supermarket would get more than double the salary, you would get maybe nothing on that. So it's a lot of sacrifice and compromise, but nevertheless the point is then your work, you're underappreciated and you're not undervalued. That's another situation that you find it. And I think life is very short, and that's what I say also in my business page. I say that life is short. We get one chance in life, and here it is obviously there is a financial side, but we are born in a family. It is more about making memories with them, okay, living a comfortable life with them, because maybe after retirement people get some money, but then they don't have the health and to do the things that they want. So therefore, change is needed. I needed to think obviously the conventional way, and again the culture that we are born in South Asia. All 4 of us from South Asia, so we are born sort of an idea that okay, you get a degree, you do a good job, and that's where you are successful. That's actually not the way it is around. When I mean this mindset has changed when I have gone abroad. While let's say in Germany or in Australia, you would see that people, a lot of people who don't have any degrees, they're the most successful people. Say, for instance, Mark Zuckerberg, he dropped out from Harvard, and see where he is today. And you find Bill Gates, he himself is a dropout. So most of these people, they're dropout, and they have taken, because they thought out of the box, they started the entrepreneurial journey, because we are not trained here, I would say, in South Asia, how to manage money and on the finances. We are trained sort of often the degree and then work for someone else. But entrepreneurship, that's a different journey that requires another sort of mindset, and we are often not trained about that. And that involves often risk taking, that involves leading by yourself. So this, here in our community, while I joined, I don't also have any business background, but here when I come, I see what we call servant leadership. The leaders who build this system, they started very small, 10, 11, 12 people, if I'm not wrong. Now it's 153K plus members. Starting a business and scaling a business, there is a lot of steps involved, and they have put everything together. Because I know a lot of online businesses out there work for 10 years out there, but there is one mentor, one guru. Everybody is dependent on them. You can't even talk to your mentor for 5 minutes. They are not even available, and even if they are available, they are maybe just 5 minutes here and there, or 10 minutes here and there. But this here is a empowerment of people from different backgrounds. Leaders, hundreds and thousands of leaders have been created, and now they are helping others. So this is an incredible platform. And the other thing that I just stress here, that we anyways spend a lot of time in social media, and social media is very powerful nowadays. I mean, it is so powerful, it can change governments, so that much powerful social media is. So this power, the smartphone, the internet, the laptop that we have connected, it could be very, very powerful for financial purposes as well, only if we know that how to take advantage of it. And that's where we learn this skill, that rather than wasting time in social media, scrolling the newsfeed, watching just videos hours after hours, learning this skill, developing a business, that is a very, very good way and a smart way of earning. So that's what we have learned. So that's all from my side. I'll now wrap up the session. So if you want change in your life, you do have to take action, and all we started by watching our free webinar. There goes the links for the webinar. There are 4 different websites. You can go either of these, register with your name and email. The webinars are held at 5 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. EST on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you can't join the live one, you can watch the replay during your own time. Watch it, watch more than one episode. After watching the webinar, do your research, get some education, the knowledge, how online platform functions. Then we have another new avenue. It is really incredible that you can come to a private group, which is developed for you. You are going to see the results, the incomes of our existing members, and much more information about the business. And then you can really take an informed decision. Okay, this is a halal, lawful, and legit business. This is a taxable business. You would have to pay taxes wherever part of the world you are living. So as far as the laws and the certification are concerned, everything is done for you. It is done for you already. Only thing you would have to do in this business is marketing, and you get trained for. So that's it from our side. If you find value in this episode, then I would say that do take the action. And have a nice weekend. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Habib, and Sister Fatima. And yeah, especially just before I sign off, thanks to Brother Habib. It's very late over there, and you have made time for us. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best, brother. Assalamu alaikum.